GM friends, grateful to have you here. It is Button with the world famous Cucho, and today we are talking about Jeff Staple, one of our favorite designers, one of our favorite NFT projects that he created. We're going to tell you all about it. Cucho, how are you? Are you excited about this one?
I'm super excited. Yeah, we're both big fans of Just Staples. So let's talk a little bit about his journey as a fashion designer, but then also specifically in the NFT space. So here he is, Jeff Staple, like I said, OG fashion and sneaker designer, super established in NFTs as well. He grew up in New Jersey. Then he actually had first like a very traditional job, but then switched his career path a little bit, went to Parsons Design School, started graphic design. And then what he did is he started designing his own t-shirts. So, and what's really cool is how Staple started is he actually wore his own t-shirt, then walked into a boutique fashion store in Soho, and the owner was like, "Hey, I love this t-shirt. I want to have this in my store." And put in an order for Jeff to create some t-shirts in the store. And this is how his whole journey as a fashion designer and with the Staple brand started.
That's so
Like, isn't
cool.
that cool?
I honestly did not know that, Cucho. That's fascinating.
Yeah. Do you want to talk a little bit more about like how his journey continued as a
Well,
fashion designer?
dude, I think, yeah, absolutely. His monumental moment has to be the Nike SBs, which he was assigned by Nike to create a shoe that represents New York. And what better uh, representation than a pigeon? A pigeon's not afraid to walk by anyone in the streets. It is all over the streets of New York, and the colors are so iconic. And this specific shoe is really what put Nike SB on the map, where all of a sudden you're seeing kids line up around the blocks to get in line to get a chance to buy these monumental shoes. And it really started a movement where like Nike SB is established as like a solid brand now. And these are the ones that started it off, the Nike Dunk Low Pro SBs. The pricing here, it says 25 to $30,000, but from our research, we've even found, depending on the size you want, they can actually go up to six figures for these shoes. They're stunning shoes. They're part of his history, and they really took Jeff Staples' name and the brand to the next level, which allowed him to create his own brand for himself called Staple. You want to show him that, Kucha? It's pretty dope.
Yes, for sure. And yeah, really, this drop, I mean, it didn't just put him also on a map as a fashion sneaker designer, but it also is a huge milestone in like sneaker history and that started off kind of like the whole sneaker movement and sneaker collecting became a thing. So yeah, but Jeff Staple, he created then, or I mean, he has already been doing it, but it really spurred a little bit the growth of Staple, like his own fashion forward streetwear brand. Today it's super established in streetwear. He's doing a ton of collabs with major brands as well. And yeah, it's cool to see the growth that he's had in his career.
Right. Some
And
of the
then,
brands
Mhm.
include, like, we've seen him work with New Balance. We've seen him work with all sorts, including like luggage brands like Tumi. Like, it's amazing the level of design that he's been able to influence and put his own little touch on to really get his career to the next level. I mean, he's basically living the dream. If you are a fashion designer, you want to be Jeff Staples, because Jeff Staples is really in everything. And I have so much admiration for the man, the myth, and the legend.
Yes. Yeah, and he's not someone that shies away from innovation, right? Like he's an innovator himself. And that's also how his foray in the NFT space started. Like he noticed what Artifact was doing and how they, changed their approach to fashion and, leveraged like NFTs in how they create fashion. And he wasn't like, oh, like this looks different. I don't want to have anything to do with it, but no, instead, like he actually reached out to Artifact and said, like, "Oh, I noticed you guys are doing something special. I just want to learn more about it." And that's how they actually did a drop together. And what they did, which is also really cool, they again used the pigeon as the symbol. And what they wanted to do is they said, like, "Hey, let's think about how would the pigeon look like in the metaverse. Let's bring the pigeon into the metaverse. And yeah, within that collection, they designed 2 sneakers and then as well these pigeon NFTs. And really, I would say like all of them have become until now like very iconic in the NFT, very iconic NFTs in the NFT space. This one specifically, the Meta Pigeon, it stands out because it actually got minted for $1, but the value that collectors got until now just by owning this NFTs is actually above 6 figures. Like they got exposure to a lot of what is Artifact doing since then. So maybe we do a separate video on it, but today we just focus on Jeff Staple. But just to show like he's done a lot for the space already and provided a ton of value to his collectors. And then from this point, you know, he kept innovating and he wanted to create like his own brand in the NFT and Web3 space as well. Button, tell us more about that.
This is the Stapleverse. And the Stapleverse is basically where he's, rather than him collaborating with other people in Web3, he's doing it on his own. And so the first drop that he did was called Feed Clan. And the Feed Clan is essentially items that you would find in New York that perhaps a pigeon might nibble on, or you'd find just walking around on the streets. It's all wholesome to New York, and they're kind of unique. I mean, like, you didn't really know exactly what this journey that you're getting on when he first launched this, because there's such unique items. I mean, some of them look literally like trash. But the truth is, it's so much more and so much deeper. And so this was just the phase one to get people intrigued and like interested into what this is going to become. And it led to them being able to have an opportunity to burn one of their feed in exchange to get a different NFT. So by basically burning it, you're getting rid of that feed, and you had a chance to get one of 2 NFTs, and this is one of them, and it is called, they're basically pigeons from the Hood Pigeon group. And so each one is kind of essentially a PFP, and you didn't know which one you're going to receive. You just hope that you got one, and there's some very, very special ones, and then there's some that are less rare, but they're all kind of unique in their own way, and it's a way for you to express yourself online. And this one definitely was a good moment because people were excited to burn the feed to get involved with the Hood Pigeons.
Yes. So it's the Hood Pigeon and then the other one. So you burned one of the feed NFTs and you either got a Hood Pigeon or you got a Poop Gang NFT. Yes. What I think is really cool is, I mean, he really encourages people to just engage with the project. So it's not just, oh, you're not just like holding the NFT. Like this was gamified in a way. You burned NFT. It was like a really fun process on their site. And then you revealed like, oh, am I now going to be part of Hood Gang or Poop Gang? And so it's really playful. And I love how they like keep engaging the community. And yeah, and that actually not just relates to the NFT collections, but it also relates to the utility that they are providing for holders.
Right.
So something that they've done is, this was during NFT NYC, and they actually created a scavenger hunt through the city. Mm-hmm. And this one was super fun. Button, both of us were participating with it. Tell us a little bit more about your experience.
Well, first off, all you had to do was have just one NFT from the Stapleverse. So whether it was a feed, a hood, or a poop, and with that one, you got access to basically the first day, you get a chance to speak to Jeff Staples. It was very intimate. We got free sandwich. It was pretty amazing, to tell you the truth. And then from there, you would connect your cell phone through MetaMask to enable you to go on a scavenger hunt and look for these specific locations all around New York. And if you went there, you were looking for basically a QR code, which you would scan and do some activity to demonstrate that you're like actively participating in it. And based on the total amount of stops you made, you would receive prizes. Some of them were for physical goods, and some of them were for actually amazing NFTs, not only from his project, but from other projects online. And it was amazing. It was bridging Web3 to IRL in real life. It was, even if you lost, it was still a great time because you still got a $50 gift card to Staple online shop. So I enjoyed it. I can't wait for the next one. And I think rumor might have it in New York City again. So keep an eye out for that.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. And I'm actually based in New York, but just by the scavenger hunt, like I found some really cool new places. Like shout out to Tompkins Square Bagels. They definitely have some of the best bagels in town, and I didn't even know.
Yeah.
So that was really cool. And then even aside from that, I mean, there is a lot of utility that they are providing for holders. What they've done recently is there is actually going to be exclusive fashion items for each of their 3 collections they have right now. So this is just to show you, this was the hoodies they designed for the Hood Squad owners. So if you owned one, you got like a gray one, and then they had like some levels. So if you own a certain amount, you got the black one, and then some of the others. So again, like offering really cool utility and gamifying it for the community. And also, aside from that, they continue to do partnerships. They had the partnerships with Crocs, with Fossil already, and in all those, what they call NRG drops, they are also always giving early access to any Stapleverse holders. And yeah, keep their collectors in mind and what they do, which I think is always something really positive to see from a creator.
Absolutely.
Button, anything else you want to mention about Stapleverse? Anything you are excited about that's to come?
Well, I love their community. I think that their Discord is consistently active. It is pretty easy to get involved. I mean, you can go on OpenSea and check what their prices are. They're pretty reasonable right now, and I do expect that Jeff Staples will continue to build in Web3, and it's all going to be through the Stapleverse. So we're cheering for you. We're big fans of the project, and we can't wait to be a part of this journey with them together.
Yeah, I can't wait to see what phase 3 is about. We already talked through phase 1, phase 2. They teased there's going to be a next one, so definitely stay tuned with what that is going to be about. But yeah,
Perfect.
Thanks everyone for tuning in, and see you all next time. Cheers, everyone.
Later.